This just in. Most small businesses don't fail because they're bad. They fail because no one knows they exist. Mike Michalowicz's book, Get Different, is his way of shaking us out of that slow, polite fade into obscurity. If you've ever wondered why your competitors keep getting the clients you should have, or why your carefully written emails feel like they vanish into a black hole, this book offers an answer. The problem isn't your product or price. It's that your audience doesn't even notice you long enough to care. And Get Different doesn't whisper this truth softly into your ear. It waves a red flag and shouts it across a crowded room. Here's why most marketing gets ignored, even if it's technically good. Michalowicz introduces the Reticular Activating System, or RAS, which sounds like something from a 90s sci-fi movie, but it's actually part of your brain that decides what to notice and what to ignore. It filters out everything that looks expected, average, or safe. And since most small business marketing follows the same tired template, it gets tossed out with the mental junk mail. That's why being better isn't enough. If your website is just a slightly shinier version of your competitor's site, you still get ignored. To fix this, you don't need to be outrageous. You need to be different enough to interrupt someone's autopilot. That's what this book is about. Learning how to stand out in a way that doesn't just feel different to you, but registers as different to your audience. To kick it off, we'll look at the DAD framework, what it is and why it works. The book's central framework is DAD: differentiate, attract, direct. It's simple, but don't confuse that with easy. Most people skip the hard parts and then blame the method. Michalowicz doesn't give you permission to stay comfortable. He gives you permission to get noticed. And that comes with some discomfort. So, number one, let's look at differentiate. What makes you weird makes you work. This phase is about more than just slapping a quirky font onto your business card or adding a fun fact to your LinkedIn bio. Michalowicz is clear. Your job is to actively not look like everyone else in your industry. And that starts by identifying what everyone else is actually doing. The book suggests you scan the competitive landscape, figure out what the norm is, and then go the other way. If everyone's using calm professional blue in their branding, you might show up in hot pink. If every accountant is promoting accuracy and trust, you highlight speed and humor. You're not being different for the sake of it. You're breaking the pattern your customer's brain has learned to ignore. Michalowicz also recommends borrowing tactics from other industries. This is his version of R&D, not research and development, but rip off and duplicate. Take an idea that works in restaurants, fitness, or e-commerce and apply it to your field. Just change the context. It's also about finding your est, not the best, your weirdest, fastest, boldest, or onlyest. The thing that sets you apart. Not your generic promises, but something specific enough to stick in someone's head. For example, saying we help small businesses grow is forgettable. Saying we help you go from not even your mom understands what you do to everyone wants to work with you creates a mental image. It also opens a conversation. This brings us to number 2, attract, which is where you speak to what they actually care about. Once you've captured their attention, the goal is to keep it long enough to create interest. Here, Michalowicz says your message has to speak directly to your customer's real-world problem. That means no jargon, no vague value propositions, no solutions tailored to your needs. You're not pitching to a boardroom. You're talking to a human who is probably tired, busy, and slightly skeptical. This is where the idea of a nemesis comes in. Your nemesis is not your competition. It's the real enemy your customer is trying to escape. For a personal trainer, it might be couch culture or false fitness promises. For a digital agency, it might be marketing fluff or overpriced consultants. You don't need a villain, you need a cause. This lets you frame your mission as a movement instead of a transaction. You're not just offering a service, you're helping someone win a fight they already care about. That's magnetic. Michalowicz also pushes for specificity with something called the Target 100. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, you pick 100 dream clients and build your messaging for them. This constraint forces you to focus. When you do, your message sharpens and you stop wasting time trying to please people who will never buy from you anyway. Lastly, number 3, direct. Don't be coy. This is the part most business owners stumble over, the call to action. Michalowicz says if your message stops at learn more, you've already lost. The goal here is to be crystal clear about what you want people to do next and to make that action easy. Don't ask for a 60-minute call to explore synergies. Ask them to download a guide, book a 15-minute consult, or answer a single question. Make it feel helpful, not heavy. And remember, the call to action must align with the level of trust you've earned. If they just met you, don't propose. Ask them to coffee. Here's what the book gets right. The tone is smart, funny, and refreshingly honest. It doesn't waste your time trying to sound clever. It just tells you what works and why. The real value is the mindset shift. You stop asking, how do I market like other successful businesses? And start asking, how do I make sure my prospects even notice me in the first place? The focus on small tests over perfect plans is also practical. Most of us don't have time or budget for 6-month campaigns. We can, however, send a postcard to 50 people and see what happens. And most importantly, the book makes being different feel doable. Not easy, but possible. However, here's where it might fall short. Some of the examples do feel a bit too neat. Real-life marketing experiments are often messier than the case studies suggest. Also, not every business owner will instantly know what their difference should be. That process takes time. If you're new or pivoting, you may need to try a few wrong versions before the right one clicks. The book also sometimes assumes you're already creatively inclined or that you have someone on your team who is. If your default mode is cautious and reserved, this may feel overwhelming at first. Having said that, read it, then use it. Get Different is the kind of book you can finish in a weekend and apply on Monday. It doesn't overpromise. It doesn't hide behind complicated diagrams. It just gives you permission to stop blending in. It's especially useful for small business owners who are tired of writing content that gets ignored, posting graphics no one clicks on, and wondering why their website feels invisible. If you're ready to be noticed for the right reasons, this is a solid starting point. And if you want help creating that difference without the stress of figuring it all out alone, get my 5-minute marketing fix. It will help you write one clear sentence that instantly resonates with your target audience. You can download it for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix and get it there. But what about you? What's one piece of marketing advice you ignored and what worked out better? I'll go first. I started my Almost Breaking News video series because I didn't see anyone else combining real marketing news with dry, slightly cheeky commentary. It leaned into my strengths as both a journalist and a marketer, and it gave me a format no one else was using. It's working. Okay, your turn. What did you try that went against the grain? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful book reviews for small business owners every week.